Hello and very warm welcome to StudyIQ. I am Prashant Pavani. I hope you all are doing good this Sunday. I'm sure you all are enjoying your Sunday as well, dear friends. Let's have a positive start first. Education is the key to unlock the golden door of freedom. Education is not just limited to degrees and good numbers. It is more than that. I strongly believe that observation is such a thing or a tool that is in our hand that we can use anytime, anywhere. And trust me, you will learn so many things from just observing things that are around you, from observing incidents and observing other things that goes on with our life and with the lives of other people around us. With this, dear friends, I would like to stop you guys for 1 second over here. Please pay attention to the picture that you can see behind this statement. You can see a very beautiful, serene beach, isn't it? You can see only one man-made thing, that is this alleyway or a sort of jetty that we can see. Apart from that, everything is natural and beautiful, isn't it? It looks very nice, very pleasing to our eyes as well. But I have a very horrific picture for you. I'm sorry to share this thing, but what can I do? This is a reality in which we are living. This is a picture that you will find in today's The Hindu newspaper in the front page. This picture is from Mumbai. You can see plastic everywhere. We have talked about plastic. It's a big problem that we are facing at present, and it is going to be a big problem for our future generation as well. It is getting bigger and bigger nowadays, but the good thing is, at least in Mumbai, there is a tough plastic-free regime drive. It's been conducted in the commercial capital of our country. Remember and pay attention to this thing, that financial or commercial capital of our country is Mumbai. And over there, the local authorities, municipal authorities, they have started a tough penal action against all those people who are throwing plastic here and there, and in fact all those people who are using plastic. Now this weekend will be used to generate awareness. We have also seen this thing that big companies, big names like Starbucks and McDonald's and other outlets, right, they have been penalized for using plastics, and it's not just limited to big companies. It is also penalties are being levied on small traders as well. Somewhere around 5,000 rupees fine on big companies, and small companies, of course, they are penalized too. And this is something that is very necessary. Now, as far as awareness is concerned, it is very important, because the thing is, you know, demand and supply. We have talked about demand and supply many a times. We have used this demand and supply example on various different things, like, say, for example, inflation or money supply, monetary policy, etc. And when it comes to polythene bags, right, if we generate awareness, then people itself, right, people of our country, they will stop demanding, or they will stop this demand of plastic bags when they go out for shopping. We used to have this culture of carrying bags, you know, this bags made up of old curtains or this bed sheets and other things. I'm sure you'd be having this, or you might have seen this sort of bags as well. Now, the positive side of this thing is that this micro and small industries, they can create these bags, right? They can create these bags. This will create jobs for many people. You can get this bag very cheap, right? Because they are made up of this used, you can say, clothes and other items. So it will be a good recycling thing as well. It will create jobs for other people. At the same time, we would be able to fight this plastic menace too. Now, I have one picture that you find in today's The Hindu, and here this is a very interesting line that we can analyze. You can think about it, right? I'm just giving you my version here. Commercial establishments suffer losses. Now, what about environmental loss? It's far bigger than this commercial loss, of course, because the sad part with pollution, plastic pollution, is that even today we are not sure. We don't have any fixed figure. We don't have any number based on which we can say that this much amount of damage this plastic is causing. We know the side effects, we know the damage, right? We know that it is polluting, it is destroying our environment, our life, our other aspects of life, like microplastics are found everywhere nowadays in the bottled waters as well. But still we don't know how big it is. So this is a very sad part of it, and as you can see, India is producing what, 25,000 tons of plastic every day. Plastic constitutes 3% of 9,400 metric tons of garbage collected just in Mumbai. So dear friends, make sure you spread the message out there, right? Talk with people, your loved ones, share this message that we need to end this demand of plastic products, particularly those products like use and throw sort of products. Polythene bags are a big problem. Moving on, dear friends, but before that, StudyIQ provides pen drive and tablet courses for various different exams. To find out more about it, check out StudyIQ.com. If you have any question or queries regarding it, feel free to give us a call on the numbers that you can see on your screen. Check out StudyIQ.com. You will find chat support as well. Now, I have launched this video on our test series, right? UPSC Prelims 2018. Out of 100 questions, 65 questions appeared in this exam, this last prelims exam, which were covered by us in our test series. So it's available again for all those students who are preparing for 2019 prelims. Make the most out of it. At present, you are getting a bit of discount as well. Find out more about it on testseries.studyiq.com. It is available both in Hindi and English. Want to get in touch with me? This is my Facebook page and Twitter handle. Do share this lecture with other people and make sure you hit the like button if you learn something from today's discussion. Now, I have a topic for you guys. I'm sure many of you regular students, you know that this is a very important topic. You find this beg your pardon, slip of tongue here. Anyways, let's try it again. You find this type of topics in your mains examination. Of course, you find this type of topics in your prelims examination as well. But for explaining things, you need some solid figures. You need some solid insight regarding what's going on with this medical sector in our country. Now, new 2018 National Health Profile is out, and it talks about two major problems. I want you guys to remember these two major problems. One is low public expenditure on health. This is a big problem for a country like ours. And the second one is poor government doctor-patient ratio. Now, as far as public spending is concerned, we are just spending 1% of our GDP behind health. Health is the most important thing, right? Ask someone who is not well. And I'm sure we all have experienced this thing that once a year or once, you know, in 2 years or 1.5 years, when we feel not well, when we are sick or when we get fever, at that point of time, we don't find enjoyment in anything, right? If I give you all the wealth, it will not entertain you because you are not healthy. So imagine all those people out there in our country who are suffering or who are about to suffer from many diseases. This is a big problem. The other thing is you become non-productive or less productive, right? You have to take day offs. You cannot concentrate. So many other things associated with ill health. So this is a big problem for our human resource as well. If a country is having lots and lots of people who are unhealthy, then of course you can imagine that government would be spending too much money as well. Lack of productivity, it will not contribute in the economy of our country, and then the whole cycle of development will get disturbed. So we need to work on this thing. Inadequate infrastructure, inadequate or lack of money or financial support also means that inadequate infrastructure, including medical education, right? We produce so many doctors in our country, but then as well, there are so many people who are not able to get admission because of there is a tough competition. Limited schools are out there, limited educational institution, and too many people applying for it. So this is also a big problem. If we spend, if we not spend, I would rather use the word invest. If we invest money after public health, if we create more infrastructure as far as hospitals and medical education colleges are concerned, then we can deal with this. This is just one part. The other part is this poor government and doctor-patient ratio. On an average, in our country, one doctor will look after 11,000 patients, government allopathic doctors to be precise. Now, if you go through WHO's recommendation, you can see on your screen it recommends that one doctor should look after 1,000 patients. But here in our country, it is 11 times more than WHO's recommendation. So you can imagine the amount of work stress that these doctors are going through. And then it will, of course, impact their quality of service as well. In some states like Bihar, which are poor states, you find one doctor serving or catering 28,000, 29,000 people. So it's 29 times more than WHO's recommendation. Now the other thing is, recently last year in Parliament, the government informed that altogether, see, if you go through this line here, you find that under Medical Council of India, we have 10.2 lakh registered doctors in our country. So government with this Ayushman Bharat and other schemes, it is trying to rope in this private players, private doctors, and it is trying to bring this ratio of 1:11,000 to 1:1,600, which is still above WHO's recommendation, nearly 1.5 times more than WHO's recommendation, but still it's not bad. It's not going to be that bad than what we find it now. The other thing is we have a shortage of nearly 5 lakh doctors as well. 70% of our people of our country are still living in rural area, and you know the situation of rural area and urban area. You know, this big multi-speciality hospitals are located in urban area only, so people have to travel for medical purpose, traveling expenses, and you know, living expenses. If they have to stay in guest houses or hotels and other places, so this is additional burden on them, and for a common man it will make him or her poor. They have to sell properties. Every year we find somewhere around 6 crore people, they have to sell their assets to get medical services. So this is kicking this pollution cycle as well in our country. Now the other thing is we need to sort out, this clearly indicates that we need to sort out this supply side. For supply side, we need more medical colleges. We need to provide enough financial support. So allocation of money should go up. It's not all bad. We have seen some good results as well as far as this maternal mortality rate is concerned. Since 2013 we have seen a reduction of 22%, which is not bad. Recently we celebrated this Yoga Day, International Yoga Day, and I still remember when Prime Minister talked about yoga in this United Nations General Assembly, and after that as well, when the world celebrated first Yoga Day, we talked about preventive side of this yoga, right? It is very important for a country like us. Just supplying or just opening many colleges is not going to help, because at the same time the population of our country is also going up. So we need to focus on preventive side of health. At present our whole system is designed for curative side. This is not sustainable at all, right? When we focus on curative side, we are talking about expenses, but when we focus on preventive side, it is more about investing in health. And once you invest in health, you get the return that you can get from no other investment. Dear friends, one more important item. I think we have talked about it earlier on as well, but I would like to reiterate this thing, that we need to rope in our nurses as well. Our nurses, after, say for example, 5 or 6 years of experience, they can go through a test, and after that test they should be allowed to recommend some sort of medicines in primary sector or primary part of this medical sector, and we can get the expertise, this work experience. And this has been going on in many developed countries, having exceptionally good medical services. They have allowed their nurses to take some decisions, so we can allow our nurses to take decisions, and in this way, this whole burden on doctors will be divided, and nurses will fill this gap as well. With this, dear friends, now we move on to important news item that we find in today's The Hindu newspaper. Pakistan is in news because of this FATF, Financial Action Task Force. Now I have a question for you guys. Can you tell me the organization with which this FATF is associated with? One more thing that I would like to highlight here is that FATF has this gray list, which is very important, right? Many times you find this type of list and organization, or item and organization questions in your MCQ. Now Pakistan is in news because Pakistan, for a very long period of time, we know the problem in Pakistan. Anti-money laundering thing, is going on, and terror funding is something that is rampant over there. So to curb this thing, USA pushed, this Pakistan in corner, and USA was backed up by this UK, Germany, France, and other countries. so that Pakistan could be brought under this grey list. But Pakistan has notified that it has launched this anti-money laundering and counter financing of terrorism regulation 2018, which is, as per Pakistan, it claims that it is in full compliance and it is in line with this global watchdogs guidelines. Now, elections are just around the corner in Pakistan, so this can fetch some more time for Pakistan to see itself before it sees itself in this FATF grey list. The final decision will be taken by FATF plenary that is going to take place in near future in June, somewhere in not June but after yes, in June. In July 25 elections are going to take place, so let's wait and watch. But this is a very important topic for all of us. The other thing is clock ticks for paperless Indians. Now, zero tolerance policy of Mr. Trump is in full swing in USA, and somewhere around 94 Indians have been captured. They will be deported or the proceedings will take place against them. You have this ICE, that is Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency or department that is looking after this illegal immigrants in USA. Now, of course, from USA's angle, we have to, or for any other country, right? If people are entering that country without proper documents, without permission, then it is going to create some sort of pressure, right? Economic, natural resource pressure and everything, because people will require various things. So it is important for every country to curb illegal immigrants. At the same time, we cannot become inhuman to them. We have to treat them just like humans. They have entered your country without permission, but that does not mean that you separate their kids and their families from each other. Of course, USA has basically rejected, or they have ended this policy of separating parents from their kids. But for all those Indians who are trying to, or if they are thinking that they can enter any country, particularly developed world, without papers, then they are choosing a tough terrain for themselves. NCW, that is National Commission for Women, has a team of 3 members has reached Jharkhand, Kunti. That is a place in Jharkhand, and it was reported that 5 women activists were raped, gang raped in this Kunti area. And it is also said by this DGP, additional DGP has said that they were of the view that anti-Pathalgadi sentiments were portrayed in this Nukkad Natak played by this NGOs, and this was a sort of revenge. The sad thing is there was a person, Father Alfonso Alien, who runs this missionary school, and he witnessed this rape, but it is reported in the news that he was the witness of this incident, but he never reported, so proceedings will take place against him as well. India and Pakistan again in news, because envoys who were having, Indian envoys having permission to visit this Gurudwara Panja Sahib, they were not allowed to go there, and they were not allowed to meet this Indian pilgrims over there. So this is a violation of international norms. This has been taken very seriously by our country, and we have summoned Pakistan's Deputy High Commissioner, and we have lodged a strong protest as well. Now, a sad news again associated with environment. Rhino habitat is under threat because of mining. You know, we talked about this lynching case yesterday and day before yesterday. This incident that took place in Assam, 2 gentlemen were killed by this people, and this whole thing took place as per police because a person over there with criminal past, he passed this rumor that these 2 gentlemen, they are there because they were there because they are planning to kidnap kids from Assam, and because of this rumor, people started beating these 2 men, and they finally died. This is a very sad thing. Reports are coming out that these 2 people, right, they were knowing more or too much about illegal mining and stone quarrying, and because of this thing, this is a whole conspiracy against them, and this is the reason why they are killed. Now, you have a RTI activist. His name is Rohit Chaudhary. He has also complained that he has complained about this non-implementation of recommendation of National Tiger Conservation Authority in this area, Kaziranga Karbi Anglong area, And all this quarrying and mining activities are putting severe pressure on this natural biodiversity that you find in this part. I'm sure we all are aware about this thing, that Kaziranga National Park is home to largest population of one-horned rhinos. We need to stop all these things or else we are going to lose our species. And then once we lose our important species, we are also going to face many challenges, environmental challenges for us as well. We are all part of one ecosystem. Here is a map of biodiversity hotspots of our country. You can see northeastern India, Western Ghats and Himalayan region, and of course Andaman and Nicobar Island. So pay attention to this hotspot area too. River dolphins, very interesting facts are reported in today's science page. We find that Asia's river dolphins are nearly blind, not totally but nearly blind. Now, they use this sonar system. They have their inbuilt sonar system, right? Evolutionary sonar system that they have. It is also known as echolocator. And because of this echolocator, they can listen for surface swimming fish as well as bottom dwelling prey. And with the help of this thing, they can catch their prey because they cannot see anything in this murky water of Indus and Ganga. And this is a system through which they have survived even on all these areas where you find human activities. With this, dear friends, a small item, not that important for your exam, but important for your preparation, that you have to take adequate sleep. If you don't, then it will reduce your life as well, as per this research or report. And the other thing is, if you don't take adequate sleep, right, it disturbs your focus. So it's very important. If you want the best performance from your body, then you have to give it a proper rest as well. One thing that I find can change your sleep or your quality of sleep is that not to take your mobile phones whilst you go in the bed, because nowadays we find this sort of addiction as well with many people, right? That they take their mobile phones, then they watch YouTube and other things, songs and I don't know what, and then they find out that they have lost 2 or 3 hours, precious hours, and then they go to sleep and then they have to wake up and all these things. So very important for your preparation. Today is Sunday, so I thought let me share this thing with you. And you have a small GK thing. This is your solar system here, and you find this Titan, right? That is a moon of Saturn. It is in fact largest moon of Saturn, and a flyby Cassini has provided us some pictures of this Titan, through which we have realized that you find the presence of solid benzene in this Titan's atmosphere. Do let me know the name of a planet that is having maximum amount of natural satellite like moon in our solar system. With this, dear friends, these are your answers for yesterday's question. These are your fresh 2 questions. That's everything in today's discussion. Enjoy your Sunday. I'll see you all soon tomorrow. Till then, God bless you all. Jai Hind.